And you've been listening to an NBC News special report about a shooting at a Minneapolis Catholic school. A spokesperson for Minneapolis city government says the shooter has been, quote, contained after that shooting at the Annunciation Church's school. They also say there is no active threat, but they are calling this a mass casualty event. This is the first week of classes there. You can stay with 2 on your side as we learn more information about this school shooting. You can also watch our special coverage right now. It's from our sister station in Minneapolis. It's streaming on our app, WGRZ+. It is 11:04 now, and we're turning to developing news here at home. Firefighters are working to figure out what sparked this fire. There required hazmat teams to be called in. Crews responded to Golf Carts Unlimited off of Southwestern Boulevard in Lakeview. This happened last night around 7 o'clock and forced the road to be closed for about 2 hours. Erie County and Southtown's hazmat teams needed to be called in because of the plastics and lithium-ion batteries in the fire.
So when we fight fires in these facilities like this, a commercial building, with the potential for the lithium ion and any kind of other hazardous materials, we have hazardous materials teams come in so that we can mitigate any kind of potential hazards.
Fire officials tell us no one was hurt and no evacuations were necessary. Right now, police are looking for those responsible for a fight that broke out inside the Longhorn Steakhouse in Cheektowaga, where several people were pepper sprayed, including a baby who had to go to the hospital. Police say they got calls about a fight at the Walden Avenue restaurant in Cheektowaga around 9 o'clock Monday night. When officers got there was not a fight happening, but they did find out there was an argument between 2 women, one celebrating a birthday at a table and another near the entrance of the restaurant. We spoke with a witness who says she and her mother are dealing with the side effects now because of inhaling that pepper spray.
When they were running out of the building, the woman was holding the pepper spray still, and she was going like this and still spraying while she was running. So obviously the spray kind of acted like a tsunami, and it was a wave. So that means while she sprayed somebody directly, the rest of the debris in the air was circulating and getting the whole entire restaurant.
Cheektowaga police say when they got there, the woman who had sprayed people had left and no one would tell them who she was. 66 nursing home residents will need a new place to live. Absolute Care of Westfield is closing its doors in October, but 1199 SEIU, the union representing workers there, say they were never notified, even though the state health department approved these closure plans in June. Now 113 employees will need to find new jobs. Facility owner the McGuire Group says a months-long lease dispute forced them to shut down. This is now the 3rd Chautauqua County nursing home closure since 2023. Becky Shalano, a nurse of 13 years there, says staff are worried, but there's even greater concern for the residents who now have limited options for care.
Essentially, this is their home, and now they're being ripped out of their home. All of their sense of security is gone. I know none of them saw it coming, and it breaks my heart that this is what it's come to, and something so preventable and happening, and it's just really, really sad.
In a statement, the McGuire Group says in part, quote, "This was not an easy decision. We worked tirelessly to prevent this closure and remain committed to supporting everyone affected with compassion, respect, and integrity." It is 11:07 now. That means it's time to check in with Jennifer Stanonis, who's up on the rooftop with a look at your forecast. Good morning, Jen.
Hey, good morning. Pretty decent day overall for today before we get some rain and a few thunderstorms for later tomorrow. But right now we have temperatures in the 60s and mostly sunny skies for most of our area. As we take a look right now at the satellite and radar shot together, a few clouds south is all across southern Chautauqua County. A little brief passing shower there as we zoom in for Clymer and near Harmony. Otherwise, mostly sunny skies expected for today. Temperatures right now at 66. Upper to mid 50s south, but we should all be increasing at least to the 60s, if not near 70 for today. Very comfortable and light winds. We'll have lows dropping down to the 50s for tonight. Wanted to show you this future look. So we have a decent day today into the evening, but we're tracking a cold front for later tomorrow. Expected to bring some showers and some thunderstorms. That looks like it'll be mid to later afternoon and into the evening. So I'll have more details in the full forecast coming up. Back to you.
All right. Thank you, Jen. Most students across Western New York are going back to school next week, but a handful of schools are already starting this week. So we want to give a special shout out this morning to Primary Hall Charter School. Those students went back today, and for many families, It's crunch time. That also means making sure your kids have the supplies they need. 2 on Your Side's Natalie Foss joins us live in the studio this morning with a breakdown of how much you can expect to spend if you haven't finished your shopping yet. Good morning, Natalie.
Good morning, Kelly. Yeah, that's the key. If you haven't finished shopping yet. Now, I've been comparing the prices of different school supplies at different stores to see where you may be able to get the best deals. Now is actually not a bad time to do your shopping if your child's teacher isn't picky about the color or brand of the school supplies you're buying, because now is when stores are running those special deals and discounts. Now, if you've already purchased your supplies for this year, one expert I spoke to said it may not be a bad idea to stock up on essentials this year to avoid even higher prices next year.
Think about it, school supplies and like the back to school thing is something that is sort of, we know is going to happen, right? So like retailers can plan for that, right? When they see Trump come into office talking about tariffs and then they see him early in the winter and stuff start talking about tariffs and start implementing tariffs. So, you know, months ago, they could have been like, okay, we're going to start getting prepared for this and sort of import some additional material while we can't, you know, prepare for this.
So while there's no way to know 100%, Barkowski said that you as the consumer may see a much higher price next year. So I was looking for a way to help you if you still haven't done your shopping to find the best prices and deals for your child's list. And I found this cool website called Teacher's Lists where you can find your child's list. This is a second grade list for Ben Franklin Elementary. And if you click the links at the top, they'll bring you to a couple different websites. For example, this is the Walmart tab and it groups all of the items you need onto this list right here. You can check the prices, compare, swap out different items, and it gives you the total right at the top. But also, if you decide that you just want to shop at Walmart, you can click Add to Cart and your shopping is done for you. Now, if you head over to the Office Depot tab, you can see that this particular list is about $40 more. But I checked with a few of the items, like the composition notebook and folders, those are actually cheaper at Office Depot. And that was a huge tip from Professor Barkowski. Plan before you buy and shop around at different stores with different deals in order to bring that price down. Kelly?
All right. Thank you, Natalie. We'll be right back. And we continue to follow that breaking news in Minneapolis right now, where there's been a shooting at a Catholic school there. We just learned there are multiple victims and survivors. That's according to police in Minneapolis. A spokesperson for city government there says the shooter had been, quote, contained after that shooting. It happened at the Annunciation Church's school, again in Minneapolis. They also say there is no active threat, but they are calling this a mass casualty event. We'll continue following this breaking news as we work to gather you more information. You can watch special coverage right now. It's streaming on our app, WGRZ+. You'll find our live coverage from our sister station in Minneapolis. Moog is making a big investment in Western New York's future workforce. Less than an hour ago, the company cut the ribbon on its new operations training center in Alma. The state-of-the-art facility is designed to train skilled trades workers, from machinists to assembly and logistics staff. The U.S. Navy is also backing the project with the hopes it will ensure a steady pipeline of talent for shipbuilding and other defensive initiatives.
This is a celebration. This is a celebration of the opening of our new West New York Training Center. And that's really important. It's important for our company, it's important for our employees, and it's important for the community in which we are based.
Leaders and Navy officials say the center will create jobs and boost the economy here in Western New York. We'll be right back.
Rooftop Weather is sponsored by Seneca Resorts and Casinos. Nothing else comes close.
Welcome back. The Bills will be back on the practice field with the smallest roster they've had all summer. Yesterday was cut-down day, and the teams across the NFL had to trim their rosters down to 53 players. Bills general manager Brandon Beane is scheduled to speak with the media today at 2:30. We'll get to hear from him about why he chose this group of 53 to lead the Bills this season. But 2 on Your Side's NFL insider Vic Carucci stopped by the studio this morning to give us his take on the Bills' decisions. Take a look.
The first place to start is there were no surprises. In fact, for me, the surprise would have been if there was a surprise. This is a very hard team to make. This is a pretty finished product. Yeah, you got some areas to address. That's true every year, regardless of the team. Even the defending Super Bowl champs have to deal with that. But all in all, from the end of last season to now, we knew what this team, the core of this team would be. and it stayed true to that form. And so many of these players who were part of the camp were basically there to help the guys who essentially would be on the team, go through their preparation in camp. And now Chuck Noll, the Hall of Fame coach of the Steelers, had a saying, "Now we send you on to your life's work," meaning not football.
And the Bills wide receiver room was one of the big stories from the day. One of those names that made the final cut, wide receiver Tyrell Shavers. His one-handed catch Saturday night was far from the only play he's made throughout the preseason and training camp. And despite injuries, Curtis Samuel is staying on. Elijah Moore making the team as well. The Bills are keeping 6 wide receivers. And the NFL Network's Ian Rappaport is reporting the Bills are getting a familiar face back in the building. Safety Jordan Poyer, who was last with the Bills in 2023, is back. He was first-team All-Pro in 2021 with the Bills and a team captain. And if you want to hear General Manager Brandon Beane speak, we are streaming it live for you on WGRZ.com. Again, he's scheduled to start his press conference today at 2:30. It's 11:20 now. We're going to send it right over to Jen. Jen, some nice weather today, but you are tracking some things, some bumps in the road that could be coming later on this week.
Yeah,
right?
later tomorrow could see a few showers and some thunderstorms. The cold front coming through. But right now, enjoy very nice conditions this afternoon into this evening, continuing some sunshine, a few clouds across Chautauqua County, and a pop-up shower for the Harmony area. Otherwise, we're all going to mainly enjoy dry conditions for today with a mix of clouds and sunshine. Temperatures in the 60s, some 50s right now, but they'll be increasing closer to 70 under a mix of clouds and sun. And we'll have partial clearing for tonight, but then clouds will be increasing. So the gorgeous day today, clouds increase as we head into by Thursday morning. Mainly dry, could see a quick passing shower. And then it's as we head into the afternoon, mid to later afternoon, we're going to track a cold front that could bring in some showers, heavy rain at times, also some thunderstorms as we head into the Thursday evening commute, expecting some wet roadways. So plan accordingly. And then that'll be moving out and we'll actually be back to dry conditions for much of Friday. Sunshine, cooler though, once again for the end of the week on Friday, highs back to those 60s, even some mid to lower 60s, bottoming out there on Friday with those highs, but then we'll be increasing again. And actually over the long holiday weekend looks very nice. Temperatures well into the 70s, even some mid to upper 70s. Humidity levels are going to still stay pretty low pretty much for the next week, right on through the weekend. Refreshing air for the most part. So we'll enjoy the mainly dry conditions and some sunshine for today. High temperatures near 70 degrees, all those clouds increasing for tonight. And we're going to have those low temperatures in the mid 50s. Thursday's forecast, a mainly dry start to the day, but then those showers and thunderstorms arrive by mid to later afternoon and into the evening as well. High temperatures, low 70s. And then we clear things out, maybe a lingering shower early Friday morning, giving way to sunshine, temperatures highs in the 60s, so we'll be cooler. But then we're bumping back up to those 70s for the long holiday weekend. And don't forget, National Buffalo Wing Festival, both weekend days for Saturday and Sunday. It looks delightful with sunshine and temperatures in the 70s. And then we're going to continue to have that right through Labor Day Monday, sunshine and even temperatures increasing more so mid to upper 70s by then. So beautiful stretch will probably last into much of next week as well. Temperatures even approaching near 80 degrees. That's the latest on the forecast. We'll be back after this break.